Over the years, I've worked with well over 1,000 piano students and I've seen the same technical issues come up again and again. So if you're a beginner or even an intermediate student, chances are you're making at least one of these mistakes and it's probably holding you back more than you realize. And so in this video, I'm going to show you 4 common technique issues, how to fix them, and how to get your hands playing lighter, freer, and in more control at the piano. If you're new here, my name is Jonathan, and on this YouTube channel, we provide practical piano tutorials you can implement right now to improve your piano playing. Mistake number 1 is gluing your fingers to the keys. A lot of beginner method books begin in fixed 5-finger hand positions, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it can lead to some technique problems. And the problem is students, whether they realize it or not, feel like they need to be touching all of those keys all the time in these 5-finger positions. It ends up looking kind of like this, with the hand sort of frozen in this claw-like shape, and even just doing this little demonstration, it feels like there's some tension creeping in there, and it also causes some students to play slower and less accurately. And so the fix is, rather than feeling like your fingers have to stay glued to the keys all the time, think of playing the piano as walking from finger to finger. If you think about how you walk as a human, you sort of naturally shift your weight from one leg to the next. We're going to take that same concept and apply it to playing the piano. So instead of the fingers glued to the keys, we can have a little bit of space there with the non-playing fingers and play a little bit more like this. I'm exaggerating slightly so you can see what I'm getting at, but when I play one finger, my other fingers can just kind of chill. They don't have to be glued to one specific key. Mistake number 2 is improper use of the 5th finger. With the 5th finger being our smallest finger, a lot of beginners sort of compensate for that by doing sort of a karate chop action or bring the whole wrist down like that. So the fix to this is 2 parts. First, we want to focus on the fingertip of the pinky. You can practice that by making a circle from your thumb to your 5th finger, feeling where that contact point is, because if you get that 5th finger contact point right, you really can't do a karate chop action while still getting that contact point. So focusing first on the contact point and then also thinking about arm alignment. This is where you coordinate your wrist and your forearm, basically moving your arm so that it makes a straight line with the finger that's playing, in this case the 5th finger. And so our arm is supporting that pinky. And remember, it's not about pressing harder, it's just allowing the forearm to support the finger naturally. Oh, and real quick, if you want to make sure your piano technique is on the right track, we do offer live feedback on our online learning platform, 88 Keys Online. You can check it out with a 14-day free trial, and then it's a crazy low monthly fee after that. Check out the link below and you can cancel anytime. Now let's go on to mistake number 3, and that's misusing the thumb. So now we're going to talk about the other side of our hand, that's the thumb. A lot of students tend to use their thumb initially by basically bringing the wrist down, not really using it like a finger, kind of like this. Drop, drop, drop. This breaks your alignment, it makes your playing sound uneven and clunky, and it definitely slows you down. The fix is focusing on where your thumb meets the palm. A lot of people think that your thumb has a different number of joints compared to the other fingers, but that's actually not true, because the equivalent of this joint right here for fingers 2, 3, 4, and 5 actually lies way back here where your thumb actually meets the wrist. So it can be a helpful exercise to actually take your other hand and try to feel that point in the wrist where your thumb meets the palm. And then that's where you want the action to take place to make your thumb work properly at the piano. So making sure that you're actually sitting high enough and that your wrist's high enough to make this comfortable. Again, you'll activate your thumb from here so that a good thumb looks more like this. Activate. And then mistake number 4 is simply pressing too hard when you play the piano. This is a big one because when we're first learning, it's really easy to think, whether consciously or unconsciously, more pressure equals better sound. But that's not how pianos work. You play a key that activates a hammer that hits a string, so once that string has sounded, no matter how much pressure you apply, that's not going to change the sound that's already been produced. And then all that extra pressure is just going to cause tension and not so great feelings. And so the fix for this is to train your fingers to strike the key and then instantly relax. Especially if this is your first experience with this concept, it's going to take a little getting used to, but you could take something like a scale and then just focus on play, relax, momentum, relax. So it's really about, again, the speed of the key strike, and then we want to keep just enough weight down to keep the key down without applying any extra force. Another thing you could do is play a key, relax, and then just kind of move your wrist around like this, just almost like jelly sort of, again, to try to get this strike relax as instantaneous as possible. And then you'll not only sound better, but you're going to avoid long-term injury. If you enjoyed this video, you'll probably also like checking out this one as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you over there.